Welcome back. Let's spend a few minutes and think about the shape of the production possibility frontier. Is it a line, linear, or is it bowed? What causes these different shapes is whether or not the opportunity costs are constant or increasing. So let's take a look. So the production possibility frontier shows us the trade-off between two goods. The slope of the PPF shows us the opportunity cost of the good on the horizontal axis. So if you're thinking, oh gosh, slope, here we go. What is slope? Well, it's just the rise of a line divided by its run. So the rise being the vertical change, the run being the horizontal change. So let's take a look at a production possibility frontier. If we're at some combination of guns and butter, point A, and the economy moves to a different combination of guns and butter, point B, then there's going to be a trade-off. In order to produce more butter, the economy can't produce as many guns, so they're going to give some up. That's the opportunity cost of producing more butter. So as the economy produces more butter, this is the run. This is the gain in the amount of butter. But in order to get that, the economy is giving up production of guns. This is the rise. And if you think, well, rise, that sounds like an increase or moving up. But this is going down. Correct. The rise is the loss in the number of guns. It's a negative rise. So if you plug those into your slope formula, rise, this negative number, divided by run, the positive number, we see that slope is negative. So the slope is the rate at which we trade off one good for another good, and it's negative because it's a trade-off. If it was positive, that would mean as we produce more of one, we get more of the other. But that's not the case. There's a trade-off here. We're giving up one of them. That's why we end up with a negative slope. So let's think about this idea of opportunity costs and whether they're constant or whether they increase. So suppose that we start out at a point where the economy is only producing guns. That's all that's being produced, just national defense equipment. But then we start the move towards more butter, towards more consumption goods. We can easily use butter churns to make butter without giving up much production in guns. Why? Because a butter churn isn't all that valuable for producing national defense goods. So as we start to make more butter though, now we start to use more and more of those gun making tools to make butter. And they're not very good at making butter. That's not a good use of those tools, right? They're designed to make national defense items, not consumption goods. So in this case, where we tell this story and we kind of think about it, this is a story about the opportunity cost not being constant. So the production possibility frontier isn't a straight line. If we look at these two next to each other, constant opportunity costs and increasing opportunity costs, this difference becomes apparent. So when we think about constant opportunity cost, this is just our straight line. The slope, the trade-off is the same all the way along it. The production possibility frontier is linear. Versus with increasing opportunity costs, now we see this curved line. It's bowed out, if you would. So this bowed out production possibility frontier shows us that as we increase our production of butter, initially we don't give up very many guns. But to get that last little bit of butter, now you've got a big drop off in how many guns that we can produce. That's increasing opportunity costs. Hopefully you're starting to get a feel for why this line might be straight, constant opportunity costs, versus why it might be bowed out if opportunity costs are increasing. The more realistic portrayal. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.